Hello everybody, Josh12 back here again with another video, and I'm here to give you my official review / breakdown for the newest Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice trailer that was released yesterday night on Jimmy Kimmel Live. And I'm here to give you my personal review and breakdown / analysis, if you will, of the overall trailer that we got, that Warner Brothers are calling the official second trailer. Granted, we got a shit ton of footage and trailers and sneak peeks and teasers prior to that, but they want to call it, trailer number 2. I'm not going to debate logistics with them. They want to call it trailer number 2. I don't care. I'm still giving them my money, so who gives a shit at the end of the day? But that being said, let's get into this trailer. Overall, let's put it out there. I am a big fan of this trailer. I really liked it. I thought it was awesome. I still feel like my ranking for all the trailers, the amazing movie trailers we've gotten this year, Batman v Superman still holds the title of the King of Kings of movie trailers this year. 2016 is going to be an amazing year for movies, but this year was an amazing fucking year for movie trailers, and we got a ton of awesome ones. This one definitely tops it. I mean, like, if you thought the Comic-Con trailer freaking blew down the doors, this just takes it out of the water. But overall, my ranking is still the same. BVS is number 1. Number 2 is Star Wars: The Force Awakens, and below that is Civil War, and then everything else. It's very close, neck and neck to each other, but still, BVS takes the cake. But with all that being said and done, there are a lot of things that go into this trailer that gave me a mixed bag, if you will, because they showed us a lot in this trailer. It's practically a 3-minute trailer that shows a lot of never before seen footage, and a lot of it is very spoilerific. I mean, I feel like after they featured the Warner and freaking DC logos, they should have put hashtag spoiler alert, because a lot of shit goes down in this trailer. And it's a really mixed bag for me, because on one hand, I love this trailer. It was magnificent. It was phenomenal. It gave me, it gave my fanboy dreams. It came to life. It came to life. I got to see my animated series love come to life. I got to see my comic book love come to life. I got to see some badass, epic Zack Snyder-y visuals, as he always does, again, and we got to see some other really cool shit. But at the same time, on the other hand, it showed so much story and showed so much spoilers that it almost kind of takes me out of the trailer, which is what I'm here to say. The 3 big things I did not like about this trailer. Number 1, it showed way too much. Number 2, Lex Luthor, what the fuck? And number 3, Doomsday. Yes, let's not beat around the bush. Everyone has been talking about it ever since the trailer came out. If you did not know prior, I'm sorry, but you need to go fuck yourself, because this has been the number 1 trending topic since the trailer was released. So if you didn't know, now you know, you're fucked. Doomsday is officially part of the DC Extended Universe, and he's in this movie. And as much as I love and amped to see that kind of shit go down, I'm also very saddened and angered because I did not want to see it. It's kind of like with the Civil War trailer. It's like, I'm so happy they didn't show us Spider-Man, even though everybody else on the internet's like, we want to see Spidey. No, I don't want to see Spidey. I want to save that for the movie. I want to savor the moments when we get to see Peter Parker in all of his glory in the big screen with the rest of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Doomsday, on the other hand, is a character that isn't really much of a character. Let's be perfectly honest. He's not that great of a character. He's kind of a pointless character. The only really real big reason as to why everyone bitches about it is because he's the one, spoilers, is the one who kills Superman. So that's why he's important, and the fact that they showed us right in this trailer really gives me a mixed bag. I really like him. I think he looks badass. I think he's freaking awesome. I mean, like, let's put it out there. He fucking beats the Smallville version, like, by a fucking by a landslide. Let's put it out there. But at the same time, it's like, I really wish I could have saw that in the movie-going experience, but they showed it in the trailer. What are you going to do? It's a done deal. We can't go back. We can't get that Men in Black, like, memory eraser type shit. It happened. We have to live with it. But that being said, everything else leading up to that trailer, that specific moment in the trailer, is epic awesomeness. I mean, we get to see Clark Kent, Bruce Wayne, meet for the first time, talking about their standing on their specific towns or cities, if you will, talking about the specific heroes from their specific town. You know, Bruce is talking about how much Superman sucks. You know, Clark is talking about how Batman's a vigilante and he's ruining Gotham. Like, there's the tension in the room you can cut with a freaking knife. You can tell that these are two characters that have opposite sides of the spectrum, that this is where he stands and this is where this person stands. And ironically enough, they're the characters that they're bitching about, which is hilarious on top of it. And of course, Lex Luthor comes in, ruins the whole thing. Now, granted, Jesse Eisenberg, since he was casted, has always been the big controversial thing. I mean, granted, the whole movie, Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice, is the most controversial thing in all of trending topics, especially if you're a comic book fan / moviegoer. But at the end of the day, I was able to give him a chance because I like Jesse Eisenberg as an actor, and I liked everything leading up to this trailer because he had some menacing attributes. I like the marketing campaigns they used with Lex. I think the picture of him being bald was pretty cool. But this trailer kind of just 180s all of that and makes him more campy and comedic. I mean, whatever happened to all that talk, Jesse, about freaking not being campy or goofy like Gene Hackman? I mean, I guess he blew that out of the water because right out of the gate, Lex Luthor is quipping. He's a cocky little jerk. He's freaking making jokes about, oh, Clark, he's too strong. You shouldn't pick a fight with him. You know, he's doing a lot of really goofy shit. And as much as I like that, it's also like, I really want him to be out of the, like, I don't want to look at you, dude. I don't want to see you. I don't want to hear you. I want to see Batman and Superman butt heads. I don't want you to fucking get in between this shit, you freaking little prick. But at the same time, I like it. I guess that's what the writers, specifically Chris Terrio and Zack Snyder and all of Warner Brothers, if you will, are trying to do with the specific version of Lex Luthor. He's not the Lex Luthor we all know and love. He's not the animated series version. He is Lex Luthor Jr., if you will. This is an entire different incarnation for the modern age, and I understand that. I get that. So if their purpose is to give us this version of Lex, who's this cocky little asshole who freaking thinks he's better than everybody else, and he's goofy and stupid, and he's, you know, fucking billionaire tech whiz kind of kid, then I can buy that and I'll go with that. But I definitely feel like this trailer made him a lot goofier and campier, which is something that gives me mixed reactions. I'm for it, but then again, I'm also like, can we like skip his parts and get right? It's kind of like the Game of Thrones syndrome. It's like when Peter Dinklage is not on screen, you don't give a shit. You want to see more Peter Dinklage. Granted, everything else is awesome, but he's still, you know, Peter Dinklage is awesome. So it's kind of like the same thing here. It's like, yeah, this is cool stuff too, but, you know, I want to skip that and get back to the, you know, the Batman and the Superman things. Can we go back to that? So that's kind of like where I stand on it. And also the other big thing is, obviously, we get some very awesome shots of Batman fighting Superman. I get the feeling that there's going to be definitely some multiple fights. We got Batman fighting Superman with the Bat Wing. We get to see him kicking ass. We see the armored suit again in all of its glory. The Batmobile does some really cool stuff. We get to hear Batman's voice again, which we haven't heard since the teaser trailer that we got way back in the day. And I like it. I personally really enjoy Ben Affleck's Batman voice. Granted, it is modulated, and when I did my teaser trailer review, I did have a problem with it at the time. But now that there has been so much gap in between then and now, I'm actually for it. I actually like the fact that Batman's voice is a little modulated. It still has like that gravelly freaking dark, you know, undertone of like, I'm Batman, you know, it still has that, but at the same time, it's a little lighter and more clear in comparison to previous Batman. So I like it. I'm not hating on it. I think it's really cool. I like all the lines that Batman says. I mean, those 2 lines that he says alone are pretty badass. I mean, like the line where he kicks fucking Superman's ass and he's like, I'm gonna show you what it means to be a man. Fucking awesome. And plus the last shot where he's just like, I thought she was with you. I laughed. I liked it. It was freaking awesome. So I'm all for the voice. Moving off of that, of course, we get some more epic awesomeness of fighting that you mostly would expect with a Zack Snyder, you know, visual spectacle. Obviously, Batman versus Superman, and of course, we get to the final act where obviously at some point Batman and Superman have, I guess, reconciled their differences, and now they have to fight the big bad of this, which is, of course, is Lex Luthor's newest creation, which is Doomsday. Yes, Doomsday is created via General Zod's body, Dean Abominate, if you will, of course creates this abomination-looking kind of creature that breaks out of this city and just starts wreaking havoc. Batman and Superman have to stop it, and of course Wonder Woman shows up in all of her glory, which of course was also awesome. I mean, granted, we still have, we have yet to see like Gal Gadot really perform, really, but her presence alone really sells it all. I mean, like that shot where she saves Batman, granted, coming from the guy who's hardcore into the Justice League animates. I mean, I'm sorry, Steve Trevor fans, but fuck you. I'm all for that fucking Wonder Woman saving Batman so some shit can go down between them. I'm sorry I had to say it that way, but I'm all for that shit. I'm just saying, she saved his ass. That means something could go down in the future. I want it to. So that's all I'm going to say about that. But it was really cool. Her presence overall was awesome. And of course, the last shot of, the Trinity together. Come on. That's DC fanboy gold right there. It's just the Trinity. The DC Trinity is born. And I fucking love it. Superman looking awesome, Wonder Woman looking like a goddess, epicness, Batman with a gun, what the fuck, but still pretty badass. Overall, the trailer was awesome and epic, and I loved it. I really think it was far superior to the Comic-Con trailer. It was just really awesome. I loved it. But granted, with all being said and done, I did have problems with it, like I stated with the three big things. Story. It showed way too much. The big problem with trailers and marketing ploys this day and age is the fact that they spoil so much. I mean, classic example, Terminator Genisys. When I first heard that Arnold was going to come back to do Terminator 5, which later became Terminator Genisys, I was super stoked. I really loved the Terminator franchise. I feel like the last two movies we got were like a really big misfire, and I wasn't really big on them. But overall, I was stoked to see this franchise come back to life. However, when they started featuring the trailers, I really wasn't big on them. And then when they showed the big trailer, which of course spoiled everything, I pretty much said, fuck this movie, I'm never seeing it. And to this day, I still have never seen Terminator Genisys, if that's like a real bitch slap to the fanboy community. But it's true, I still have not seen that movie in all of its glory because of how it kind of ruins that specific franchise. But that being said, it's kind of the same thing here, where right after the second act of the trailer, when we get to the third act, which is pretty much the third act of the movie, we get to see Doomsday, and then shit goes down, and Wonder Woman shows up, and then the Trinity's there. It's like, I wanted to savor that within the movie, and they showed it right there, and it's almost like, I love you for doing that, but then I hate you for doing it at the same time. I don't know where to go with it. I really don't. I really wish they didn't show. Now, granted, even by saying that, I'm not saying I'm going to pull off a Terminator Genisys, and I'm like, I'm never seeing this movie because they did that. Fuck that. I'm going to spend all of my money, I'm spending all of my family's money, I'm spending all of Paul's money, and I'm spending all of your fucking money to see this fucking movie multiple times. Let's put it out there. I'm going to do that. I am. However, I'm kind of pissed that they showed way too much. Did they have to? Not really. I mean, I feel like the trailer up until the point you get to the Doomsday portion really was a solid trailer, and if they ended it right at that moment where you hear the roar of Doomsday, I feel like that would have been a perfect ending. It sets up the fact that, there's a bigger threat out there, which of course, is inevitable, but at the same time, it doesn't have to, like, shoehorn this other third act of the trailer, which still is badass and awesome, but still kind of, like, shoehorned in there. It's very left fieldy, and I really don't feel like they should have done that. Lex Luthor, still on the fence about it. I liked him in previous trailers. I'm just going to leave it at that. And of course, Doomsday being in the movie, I did talk about this in previous videos about, like, how is he in the movie, isn't he in the movie? I guess all the people who were bitching about my last video talking about Doomsday are kind of happy. Of like, we said it, you were wrong, go fuck yourself. Well, he's in the movie, but is he really? I'm just saying, like, it's not the true Doomsday, it's a version of Doomsday, or as I like to call it, as I have dubbed it, if you will, Mutant General Zod. That's what I'm calling it. I'm calling it Mutant General Zod because, one, they didn't call him Doomsday in the trailer, and number two, obviously the origins of, like, how that creature becomes who he is far different from the comic book version, so there's going to be some leeway here. So maybe when they do inevitably make the Man of Steel sequel, the true Man of Steel sequel, maybe they could do Death of Superman. Or maybe they're doing it in this actual movie. There's so much shit that we still don't know about the movie, which is good. but at the same time, it makes you think. It's like, where is this franchise going now that you just threw in Doomsday? It's like, are you going to kill off Superman at the third act? What the hell is the Justice League going to be without Superman? How are you going to bring him back? And if Doomsday dies, what are you going to do for the Man of Steel sequel? And like, who's going to be the main threat for sequel movies? Like, so much shit is going down. I'm sorry, I'm thinking so ahead of the future. It's kind of pointless. It's like stay in the now, douche. But at the same time, it's like, I am a hardcore fan, and I want to know, like, the outline of what this future is going to, of the cinematic universe could be, because, like, even though, you know, a lot of people are hating on it, I really want it to succeed. So that's really where I'm coming from. But overall, with all this being said and done, if I had to give my final verdict right now, I have to give it a solid 9 out of 10. It's a solid, awesome trailer. I think it just goes right down the line of all the other amazing trailers and sneak peeks and teasers that we've gotten of BVS. It still holds the title of the best trailer movie trailers of the year in my book. I mean, I love the Star Wars stuff. I love the Marvel stuff. I love all the other movies that we've seen for trailers for movies that we've seen. But BVS just takes the cake. It's that icing on the cake. It's freaking awesome. I mean, after this, I really don't need to see any more trailers. I feel like after they basically spoiled everything in this one trailer, I kind of just don't want to see another trailer. Now, granted, Warner Brothers are going to want to milk the living shit out of this movie, seeing as how this is their first real DC crossover movie, so I can guess that they're going to do a shit ton more marketing, a shit ton more posters and teasers and TV spots, and probably, obviously, another final trailer. But after this, and after seeing all the shit that went into it, I think this is going to be the last trailer I'm going to see. Wait until I become like a solid hypocrite and freaking review the next trailer. I can see that happening, but I'm just saying, like, I love this movie. I want it to succeed. Is it going to be the greatest comic book movie of all time? We have to wait and see, but as I've seen these trailers, I am stoked, I'm psyched, I am jamming, I want to see everything go down. Batman seems freaking epic. And also the other thing that really, flourishes in this movie that I really appreciate and like is, number one, the tension. I really like the tension between these characters. I love the tone. I love the darkness, the grittiness. I like the presence of each character and each actor, actually, in their respected roles. I think Henry Cavill has really come to his own as Superman, which is awesome to see. I think, obviously, Ben Affleck is killing it. Gal Gadot, even though we haven't heard her speak as Wonder Woman, her presence alone sells it all. Jesse Eisenberg, I'm still on the fence, but, what are you going to do? He's Lex Luthor Jr. He's not the classic Lex that we all know and love, so I'm going to let that go for now. And the visuals look great. It's a Zack Snyder visual spectacle as always, so that's always, great to look at. The action looks on point. The comic book references, that Joker reference alone freaking got my, it tingled my jingles. That's all I'm going to say on that. And everything else was pretty epic. But if there is one solid thing that really stood out that I loved the most out of this trailer, amongst the Doomsday stuff, amongst the Trinity stuff, amongst, which of course were awesome, is the levity in this freaking trailer. It showed off the comedy side of this DC Extended Universe, which is something we never get to see, which is obviously the main thing that every single person on the face of this planet has been bitching about DC and Warner Brothers since the conception of Man of Steel, which is the fact that it's, why so serious? Why is DC so serious? That's the big problem with fans that are against DC. But if there's one thing that stands, very tall in this trailer that I love, is the lightheartedness, the levity between certain characters and the way they do their dialogue. Like Lex Luthor, he's coming in, like, they have this amazing tension between Clark and Bruce, and freaking Lex Luthor comes to gel everything together, and it's freaking nice and comedic. You have the Amy Adams, Lois Lane, Lex Luthor stuff, which is also very comedic. You got some other really cool, interesting stuff that happens in between, not to mention the Batman stuff and Superman stuff at the end when they become the Trinity is also pretty funny. The lines like, oh shit, and fucking, is she with you? It's like, I thought she was with you. It's like, even though it's cheesy and stupid, it's funny and awesome, and I like that. It makes this movie feel a lot more, well-rounded. in comparison to previous DC movies, specifically Man of Steel. It feels like a more well-rounded kind of a movie, and I like that. That's the main thing. If there's something to be very proud within DC and Warner Brothers for doing with this trailer, is showing the levity, the lightheartedness, and the comedic side of the DC universe. Even though I'm pretty sure these moments were very, very, very small and probably insignificant in the great scheme of things, because granted, DC will continue to be very gritty, serious, and realistic, it's still good to see that it still has these other portions of emotions that a lot of us who go to see Marvel movies that really like. So I'm glad that they took that kind of stuff, and it definitely worked out for them. I'm just saying that last part where they're, the Superman Batman banter and the fucking Trinity, that sold it for me. But at the end of the day, let me know what you personally think about this trailer. I personally loved it to death. I still feel like they shouldn't have showed everything. I mean, it basically showed you first act, second act, final act. Beginning, middle, and end. That's pretty much the movie. Granted, there's probably a whole bunch of other stuff that we still don't know about the movie. We still haven't seen Aquaman, Flash, freaking fucking Cyborg, Jimmy Olsen. Hell, does Lex Luthor have a mech suit? We still don't know. Fucking, there's still a whole bunch of stuff that go into this movie that we still don't know. But still, at the same time, God, it would have been so awesome to see the Doomsday portion and the Trinity portion in the movie so we can savor those moments. It would have been awesome to see it in the theater, but what are you going to do? Trailers nowadays spoil everything, so it just goes with the territory. If you're on the internet consistently like us YouTubers, then it's something that you're eventually going to have to deal with, which is spoilers. I'm just saying, that's the world we live in the social media. It just happens. But at the end of the day, I still love the trailer. I think it's awesome. The Lex Luthor stuff is still kind of meh. Showing us Doomsday and so much of the story was a little meh. But everything else, epic awesomeness. And I loved it. I can't wait to see this freaking movie. 2015 needs to fuck off. I'm sorry, Star Wars. I'm sorry, Christmas. I'm sorry, Santa Claus. But you need to fuck off, because I need to go to 2016 to see all these movies, because it's just something I've always wanted to see, and it's finally happening. It's not even fucking the end of 2015 already. I mean, granted, can't wait to see Star Wars, and I can't wait to see, fucking wake up on Christmas Day and fucking drink some alcohol or something, but at the same time, it's like, 2016 is going to be the year of comic book movies. I want to see that shit go down. So let me know what you personally think. I will be, obviously, as the week go on, I'll be making some other videos, like extra videos talking about specific things that I did not talk about in this trailer, like the dream sequences, the nightmare stuff, like what the fuck were those flying dudes, Doomsday logistics, all that kind of crazy stuff. I'll be talking in separate videos. But overall, I just wanted to give you my breakdown and thoughts of this second official trailer. Let me know yours in the comments section below. But that being said, follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Jonch12. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already. And I hope you guys enjoyed. And this has been Jonch12.